It's really fantastic to be back. Lovely to see everybody's faces. So thank you very much for coming. I just want to tell you a story tonight. 2 weeks ago today, at 1 a.m. in the morning, I was standing outside of my office in my pyjamas. It wasn't a disastrous drunken night out, I can tell you. I purchased my office completing in March 2020. It was great timing. I had it reconfigured, refurbished, new doors, new windows, with very obvious difficulties that year. And that work wasn't completed until November 2020. So 15 months later, I'm standing on the pavement, waiting for the fire brigade to allow me into the property to see what the damage was. What was the first thought that I had in my mind when I'm standing there?
Oh, I don't see anyone I know.
Possibly, yes. Yep, you're quite right. I was wondering whether my sums insured were adequate and whether I was underinsured. Underinsurance, forgive the pun, but it is the hottest topic in the insurance world at the moment. Do you know what underinsurance is and the condition of average is? Well, in simple terms, if I insure a building for 100,000 rebuild cost, and it actually costs 150,000 to rebuild, I'm 30% underinsured. In the event of a claim, any claim, that's not just the place burning to the ground, but any claim, an insurer would apply average in those circumstances. So, for an example, if I have a £2,000 escape of water claim, I'm 30% underinsured. Insurers would firstly insist that I increase my sum insured to the correct figure and ask for the additional premium to be paid straight away before they look at the claim. They would then reduce my claim settlement by 30% to £1,334, give or take a few pence. And then, of course, my £350 escape of water excess would apply. So I'd be paid £984 for a £2,000 claim. Can you imagine the effect of a total loss fire claim? What effect that would have on your finances? A recent survey by the British Insurers Association found that 82% of properties were underinsured. We all know how building costs are rocketing, so that does make sense really. Most insurers will offer the option of a 5% index linking to, as they put it, keep the sum insured adequate. Most of our schemes are offering 8%, but the NIG have recently advised that they are insisting on 20% index linking. And that, of course, is assuming that your sums insured were adequate to start with. So what can you do about it? Well, you can have all of your properties surveyed and assessed for their rebuilding cost. You can ask a builder for their opinion. But what you've got to bear in mind is if you're wrong, you have no right of recourse in the event of finding yourself underinsured. There are products available, such as rebuild cost assessment, whereby for a fixed fee, £125 is the one that we sell, but you know there are plenty of products out there available. You can have a desktop rebuild calculated by a RIC surveyor based on your actual property and not just on the average costs in your area. I've got some information if anybody wants it, but you know you can Google that. You also need to bear in mind when you increase your sum insured, the cost of your insurance will inevitably increase. But in my opinion, I'm sure you'll agree, it's money well spent. Oh, and the end of the story. I had taken my own advice and reviewed my sums insured. But if you'll forgive the pun, I had forgotten in the heat of the moment. A couple of other things. Sorry. Milking it. Other stuff. Single flat insurance. This is a bit of a challenge at the moment for landlords to get single flat insurance. By single flat, I mean a single flat in a block. So Tyneside flats are one of a 2 flat block. Huge number of buy-to-let insurers have pulled out of the market to insure single flats in a block. So Tyneside flats that fall into that category, again, are a bit of a problem in this area. As a result, there's less choice, which means the cost increases, market forces. Direct Line in particular have just pulled out of the single flat market. We do have one that we use a fair bit who have agreed to accommodate this area of business. The other area is legal expenses cover. Until recently, we were one of the few brokers who could offer this cover free of charge. Now, all of our insurers have advised they'll be charging for it, and it's mainly due to the increased cost to them due to an increase in claims on this cover. I've put a summary of cover together, just if anybody wants that to be emailed. It's quite a few pages, so I didn't print it out, but it's there if anybody wants to look at it. It's a good thing to have a look at and consider and ask your broker about it, because all brokers will offer that cover. Typically the cost for us is £23 to add it to your policy, and it's definitely worth it. So ask your broker about it next time you speak to them. And that's it from me. Thank you very much.